So I actually went to the top. I went to the police chief, Dave Neeslet, police chief for San Diego PD, and just explained myself. Here's what's going on. You're as high as it gets.
Hey, is there a better tool that empowers a woman to defend against an attacker that's 100 pounds?
No.
Bigger? Well, that's why it's so important for women to learn how to defend themselves with the most effective self-defense tool ever invented. For women, led by women, the Not Me program is designed to help with training, purchasing a gun, and getting a concealed carry permit. And guess what? It's free. To sign up, go to notmesd.org. That's notmesd.org.
So we're going to talk about the gun show. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. But before we do that, Dad, let's talk about your CCW. So, so I don't mind. But tell me if there's some bit of information you know on the radio. Just let me know. But you live part-time in Virginia.
I live in Virginia in the winter and in northern Wisconsin, where I grew up, in the summer.
Smart.
So, but you're officially a resident. You're a Virginia resident. That's where you're
correct. And I have a CCW in Virginia.
In Virginia. So he was trying to carry in Wisconsin, and
with a Virginia CCW.
Can't do it. There's no way. Wisconsin does not recognize Virginia in any way, nor because I'm a Virginia resident.
Yeah.
There is no way I can get a Wisconsin permit.
Not even in northern Wisconsin?
No, not even.
Anywhere.
However,
so here's what we had to do.
However, I can get a Minnesota concealed carry, which is valid in Wisconsin. No, it doesn't make any sense. So,
it does.
What did you have to do to get?
5 years ago, I took the 8-hour training in Wisconsin,
right,
which was able to cover Minnesota. Went over to Minnesota to the one of the sheriff's offices in Minnesota,
right,
in Hastings, Minnesota. Got my no problems. I had the piece of paper from the class. Got my concealed carry, and that's perfectly fine in Wisconsin. And last Saturday, a week ago, I had to take the 5-year renewal course. Same thing for Minnesota.
Which there's no criticism of Wisconsin. I don't really know why they don't have reciprocity, but with Virginia, but it just doesn't make any sense. We're not helping anybody. You know what I mean? Like that process and procedure that you just went through. How many crimes do you think it's stopped?
None.
Zero.
Oh, no. It's not.
In fact, it maybe promotes crime because you had to drive there and you probably sped a little bit when you were there. Did you obey the speed limit?
You could have hit a moose.
Not anymore.
You could have hit a moose.
Could have hit a moose.
Well, that's true.
So one of the things we talked about, we're very, very proud of all the progress that San Diego's made with CCWs. And a lot of folks, before the Supreme Court decision, wouldn't have a CCW if not for the efforts of San Diego County gun owners. We talk about it all the time. We're very proud. It's one of our biggest accomplishments. And then even after the Bruin case happened and they got rid of good cause and everybody started applying, the process has improved so much thanks to us working with the Sheriff's Department, thanks to the fact that they were already issuing for years. We'd be really behind the 8 ball right now if not for what had already been built. And in the last year, about a year ago, we were happy to if they had issued 200 in a month, that was huge. 200 was a big month. And since the new sheriff took office, Kelly Martinez, since January, they've averaged over 700 new permits per month. Over 700. We went from 200 being a good month to over 700 a month. She's kept every promise she made. She's taken it very seriously. We're very, very happy with helping to get Kelly Martinez elected. So I talked about that at the gun show. Gave 2 seminars, one each day on how to get your CCW. Had a bunch of people show up, and just like we always do on those seminars, they're very popular. But one of the criticisms of the gun show was that there just weren't enough guns, and the reason there weren't enough guns is because the city of San Diego, and specifically the San Diego PD, they have a licensing division, just like the Sheriff's Department does. So you had to go through the process, fill out paperwork to, say, hey, we're putting on this gun show. And the city attorney, Mara Elliott, her office actually stepped in and said, wait. First off, they don't like the fact that there's a gun show, right? So they went through with a fine-tooth comb to figure out how they could, do whatever they could do to stop it. Mm-hmm. So the way they did it is they said, hey, you know what? There's a law that says, there's a regulation that says you can only have one FFL per property, and that FFLs can't they can't conduct business off property. Now that's accurate. You know, if you're a gun if you're an FFL, if you're a gun dealer, a federally licensed gun dealer, you can't go conduct business somewhere else. You can't go anyway. That's it's all over. That's a federal thing. It's not a state thing. You have to conduct business on your property. But what was the failure here? So basically they banned. They said you can't have any FFLs. They can't come and set up a table. Well, you kind of ask yourself, well, wait a minute. At Del Mar, they had a bunch of FFLs. What's the difference? So the failure in communication here was, these gun shops. They're coming with some of their wares, some of their guns. They're setting up, and they're advertising their shop. They're not actually selling the gun right then and there. They're saying, hey, this is what I sell. If you're interested, we could put this on hold, make an appointment, come down, and boom, buy the gun for whatever price they're offering. But the actual business isn't being conducted at the gun show. And so that doesn't mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that they haven't moved their FFL to the business address of the gun show. They're doing advertising. And that was a huge miscommunication, but I really think
that's the way they can stop it.
That's the way they try to stop it.
Right. Because if they throw something like that up, then everybody has to stop and do research.
They were trying to do everything they could to make everybody miserable.
Sure. Like if they said, well, yeah, but you can't have more than 5 people in the building because of the fire code. And
the one thing that I have to, and I think by the way, what's coming up is I think we've solved the problem, because it really was just it had a lot to do with communication.
Well, the event went smooth as butter.
It was smooth as butter.
They had no issues,
not a single issue,
not one problem.
They never do these gun shows,
but they were hoping.
But I always have to the surprise on people's face sometimes. Some people. When we point out the fact, look, gun laws, no laws disappear just because you're at a gun show. The other side has done such a good PR job that it makes it sound like a 12-year-old can go to the gun show and walk away with a fully automatic M60. It's just not.
But they say it all the time. I've never seen people lie blatantly as much as anti-gunners.
Right. They're the gun show loophole, right?
But they just, blatantly lie. Well, like as if you can't do a little background check on that and see what's really the truth, but they don't care. Once they've thrown that rotten tomato and it's smacked you in the forehead, well, guess what? It's on your forehead until you clean it off.
Right. Gun show, when they, gun show loophole. They're much better at messaging than
and everybody gets on board.
I've actually had arguments with producers. I'm going on to be on a radio show or a TV show, and I've talked to the producer, and they're telling me, oh, no, I'm wrong about these gun laws.
You don't know anything.
And I'm very polite, and I say, well, here, let me show you how this works. But if you go to a gun show, a gun shop, they have to follow all the laws. There's no – if you just kind of think it through. Like if you're just talking to somebody, do you really think there's a law out there?
Or do you really think somebody could get away with what you're saying in this state?
Hey, all these laws apply to you, Mr. Gun Shop. But if you go to the parking lot of a Mason's Lodge, then all those laws disappear. Right. We're carving out an exception.
And you can sell every gun you have in the store.
It doesn't even make any sense. I know. If you just think it through, it doesn't make any sense. So I actually went to the top. I went to the police chief, Dave Neeslet, police chief for San Diego PD, and just explained myself. Here's what's going on. You're as high as it gets, in this organization here. If it makes sense, let's see what we can do about moving forward. Let me just explain, what's going on. And it seems to make sense, and it looks like we're going to be able to move forward, which means that you are going to be able to have guns at the gun show again. Isn't that amazing? But again, and in California, the laws are a little bit more stringent, but at the gun show, you have to go through an FFL. Any transfer. If Dad and I are, actually, that's not true. My dad and I, that's a different procedure. But if you and I were going to sell each other a gun, we'd have to go through a gun shop.
Got to go through an FFL.
Background check, 10-day wait period. You have to. You illegally, you have to go through a background check, whether it's at a gun show, whether it's in our backyard, whether it's here at the studio, whatever it is. And that all happens at the gun show.
Well,
so,
my wife's cousin bought that Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
Private party.
Yeah.
Had to go through an FFL.
Well, the 500?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna? We gotta post. Are they done with that thing?
Yeah.
Yet?
Oh my God.
We gotta post pictures of how
my
good that thing.
God. No, what I need to do is I already talked to him. Is take you to the range, let you shoot it.
Well, guns scare me. I've actually never shot a 500. That's like you might as well. It's like a bazooka.
It's a cannon.
That thing's awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway,
shoot it.
Look for. I think probably in about the next 60 to 90 days, there will be an announcement. There will be another gun show, and it's looking like our work with the city and specifically the SDPD, and more specifically the chief, who's been awesome. I think that you're going to see a much improved gun show. So everybody out there's a bunch of grumpy grumps out there that's just like, oh, well, it's not perfect. Okay, help us out.
Yeah,
we're trying
I
to,
know.
you know what I mean? We're doing something. We're trying to do something good, and we're taking steps forward. So help us out. Come to the next gun show. You're going to have a blast. There's going to be a lot more guns. I'm going to make sure of it. We're doing good work. And if you haven't become a member of San Diego County Gun Owners, because that's the kind of work we do. It's not sexy. It's not dying on a hill. It's the kind of working through bureaucracy that needs to happen. So that's good stuff. So when we get back on the next segment, I want to talk a little bit more about Mara Elliott and talk about something that's going on in her office and some local politics. And then we got a couple other things going on. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. If you're watching mainstream media, you're not getting the truth about guns. Gun Owners Radio is the easiest way to stay on top of the Second Amendment fight, the fight for your self-defense rights. You can watch our live stream on YouTube every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, or if you're in San Diego, AM 1170, FM 96.1, The Answer. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Gun Owners Radio and you'll find our show. Like and subscribe to help defend and restore the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.